Assalamu alaikum.
जी वालेकुम सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। कैसे अल्ताफ भाई?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Okay, just we're gonna give a couple of minutes to everyone. अस्सलाम ताज भाई।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम, खैरियत है भाई?
अल्लाह का शुक्र है, आप सुनाएं।
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, शुक्र है, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह।
Inshallah, today a long break from the analysis of the verses. So we were on verse number 25. So inshallah today we'll try to complete it as soon as I see a couple of more people. Inshallah. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم.
We lost your voice.
Oh. Are you able to hear me now?
Now, yes.
Yeah, now it is okay.
Okay, maybe the internet or something happened. Okay, so I was saying Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So a few weeks ago, on a Monday, when we used to do our analysis, we started the analysis of verse number 25 from Surah Al-Baqarah. Since it was a really long verse, so we pretty much did up to وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ. We did it up to here. Now today we are going to inshallah finish the rest of the verse provided we have enough time. So kullama ruziku minha min samaratil rizqa qalu hadha alladhi ruzikna min qabl wa utubihi mutashabiha wa lahum fiha azwajum mutahhara wa hum fiha khalidun. So as you can see, I'm sure most of you can even translate while we are reading, but the translation is good news. Give good news, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to those who believe and who do good, that they will have gardens under which river flows. So up to here is this line. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up to here. So, and whenever provided with fruit, so kullama ruziku minha, from within, therefrom. Mir samaratil rizqa. So that means whenever provided with fruit, they will say, Qalu. We are up to here. They say, Qalu haza allazi ruzikna min qabl. This is what we were given before. For they will be served fruit that looks similar, but taste different. Now the taste different is in the brackets. So that is an added explanation. They look similar, but they taste different. They will have pure spouses. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ. And وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. And they will be there forever. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He include us among this group. Okay. Now another version of, now this is from Brother Mustafa Khattab, and I have been talking about him that he did a retranslation. So he brought it in more like a plain English. But if you go a little bit the Sahih International, you will see more word for word translation. And give good tidings to those who believe and do righteous deeds, that they will have gardens in paradise beneath which river flows. You see, there is more translation here. Whenever they are provided with the provision of fruit therefrom, they will say, this is what we were provided with before, and it is given to them in likeness, and they will have therein purified spouses, and they will abide therein eternally. So you can see minor differences, but if a person who's more familiar with today's English, this is more precise or summarized version of the translation. Okay. So with this, let me see if mashallah, we have
I just joined it. In the first part, where it says, Bashar Lazina Amanu Salihati Anna Lahum Jannatin. Did you explain why it is Jannatin?
okay. So because of let's see. Let's go over that in a second.
Well, Anna should have driven it to Mansub, shouldn't it?
No, because there is a lahum here as well. So let's look at that in a second. Now, since Brother Javed is here, I wanted to talk about the questions he brought the other day.
Nothing is plural.
Yeah, hang on. So here, these couple of the questions from Brother Javed, where are they? Right here. Yeah. Now, I asked the rest of the class to answer these questions, but I got no response. So I hope that is not intentional. But can I give you this as an exercise that please try to answer these questions, and that will be a good test. Yeah. And I'm not asking a single person. I'm asking each one of you to explain in your own way. So can I get some understanding here that are we able to do this?
Inshallah, we'll try.
Okay. So, and for you and for Brother Javed, the way, if I were to answer these questions, this is the tool I'm going to use. I'm going to go here, and over here, see, I have already took out these verses because I was going to talk about it. So let's say the verse number 133, right? Wasari'u ila maghfiratin min rabbikum, and the next one will be jannatin. Is that Brother Javed?
Yeah, this is, yes, sir. That's right.
So you guessed it right. It is because of the ilah, right? Because there is ilah here, and then that took maghfirah into jar, and there is also mir rabbikum, and then there is a harfi ataf. So this harfi ataf is making the jannatin also jar.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean I could answer these questions, but don't you think it would be nice if that's some of you or most of you try to answer these questions?
But
What do
if you're saying that mir rabbikum wa jannatin, it is jannatin. So why in the next ayah, on the other ayah, it is mir rabbihum wa jannatun? Why is it different with the same min?
Okay, see here,
Meaning is same.
this mir rabbikum again is on mudaf ilayh right here. This is harf jar, this is mudaf ilayh. But
Correct.
here the jannatin is because of the maghfiratin, because there is a wow, so it's like a continuation. Over here, what you see, there is a ulaika. Okay, when you see ulaika is a marifa, and it is the mubtada. You see mubtada here?
It's not ulaika, is not ishara.
Yeah, but ulaika can be, it's a nominal sentence.
Okay.
So that is why when you have a nominal sentence, the ulaika is marifa and rafa in this case.
Okay.
And then maghfirah is khabar number 1. So maghfiratun is in rafa because khabar is supposed to be rafa. Right? And that is why jannatun is also rafa, because there is the harfi ataf here.
Because jannat is a war between rabbuhum.
In rabbihim, from their Lord.
Yeah, mir rabbihim. So why not if it is rabbihim? Why not it is jannatin? Because it's an ataf between rabbihim and jannat.
No, see, you have to
There is a
understand.
wow in between.
Yeah, there is a wow here, which kind of separates it from min rabbihim.
And it can be two apart, you know, brother, I think, right? It cannot follow, it can be in the nominal sentence. Like maghfiratin and jannatin is not a following, it's just and mir rabbihim is in between. So you can follow
This
that.
is ulaika is mubtada. Okay, ulaika is mubtada. This is khabar 1. This is khabar 2. In between, there is mudaf, mudafun alayh, which is shibu jumla, which is mostly mutalliq.
Yes.
Okay, so don't confuse that this jannatun and maghfiratun is because it's khabar 1 and khabar 2. And khabar is in status of rafa. And as you said, here it is marfu as expected. So you are already answering your own question, brother Javid. Yeah. And you can further clarify that using this tool, right? And then you will see that what I'm saying is that this is a demonstrative pronoun and it become a nominal sentence. So this is mudaf, mudafun alayh, which is shibu jumla. Maghfiratun is khabar. Okay. So I hope that you can see the big picture here. Yeah. Now, so I'm leaving this task with you guys and hoping that you will all try to solve it, and the answers is in front of you. And inshallah, that will be a good exercise. Yeah. I only heard one brother said yes. Everybody else, brother Kabir, brother Altaf?
Inshallah.
Yes, inshallah.
Okay. Now, since we have limited time today, we have to break early for Isha. So let me try to finish this verse here. So we got up to here, and we also did up to here, Jannat, and then the next one was Tahti al-Anhar, right? We covered up to here last time. Now, so today, what are we going to do? We are going to talk about ulama. I have some background noise. Is that you, brother Javed?
Let me mute it. Sorry.
So, kullama ruziku minha, min samaratir rizqa. So you can see if I open my camera. Okay. All right. So kullama is basically the combination of kullu and ma. Now we've been looking at ma all this time, and we call it harf shart. So kullama, every time what they do, they are provided ruziku. Now, can you see ruziku? What kind of fail is this?
Mazi.
Mazi.
Third person.
Mazi, third and plural.
It is
Plural.
third person, but there is one more information I need from you about ruziku, because usually fail mazi does not have the dhamma on the first letter.
This is majhul.
Majhul. So when we have majhul, so the ruziku, which was razaka, basically is the fail.
Yeah.
Now, what is the pronoun here?
Whom? They.
Hum. Now, in a fail majhul, do we have a file or do we have a naib file?
A knife file.
Naib file, because we cannot have a file in fail majhul, because that is the whole idea. The file is hidden or not mentioned.
Yeah. Not
Yes.
mentioned, yeah.
So ruziku, when they are provided, जब उनको दिया जाता है या दिया जाएगा, yes. Inshallah, we
Yes.
look at Urdu translation also. Minha mean from it. From where? Where are they? In Jannat.
Jannat.
So जब उनको उन जन्नात में से कोई रिस्क दिया जाता है या दिया जाएगा, min samaratir rizqa, some or any fruit as provision. What? Provision. So if this is fail and this is naib file, don't we need a maful somewhere as well?
Yes.
Ruziku, what will be given? Rizqa. Rizq. And hoga kaha minha min samaratin. This is jar majroor in between mutalik. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
So if we have fail and we have the naib file, we also have the maf'ul and bunch of mutalik. Isn't that the whole thing is a verbal sentence?
Yes.
Okay. And if this is shart, then this is the shart. The shart is what? That when they are provided food or some fruits as rizqa, what are they going to say? So before I go there, kullama is usually after kullama, you will find a fail mazi. Okay. So you see it's a fail mazi, but it's
Yes.
the majhul version, but it's still fail mazi. So what are they going to say? They're going to say, qalu haza allazi.
الذي رزقنا.
With the kullama in the brackets. Why? Because it's the continuation. So when the harf shart start with kullama, the shart is that when they are provided with food, then what are they going to say? Qalu.
قالوا هذا الذي.
Qalu itself is a verb, right?
Yeah.
And what is the file? Hum.
Whom?
It's a regular fail mazi active voice, right? So
Yes,
if we have the verb and the file in it, then look, as soon as I see haza is a isme ishara. And isme ishara is always marifa. So it is a good candidate for mubtada. Making sense?
Yes.
So then I'm looking for khabar. If I have mubtada, my khabar is basically in this one big bracket. Can you see that? Brother Altaf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So haza is mubtada. I'm looking for khabar. And as soon as I see allazi, I know this is ism mawsul. So within this allazi, I need another bracket, which is this one, right? Which is my sila. I need sila. And sila is basically a verbal sentence. So ruzikna is again verb, again majhul, naib fa'il,
Yes.
nahnu, qablu, jar majroor, mutalik. So again, the fail plus file plus mutalik becomes a verbal sentence, which becomes sila. Yes. And this
Yeah.
become khabar. Allazi up to here is khabar and it is mubtada. So what is mubtada and khabar? A nominal sentence.
A nominal sentence. Jumla ismiya.
Yes, but this was up to here. You see that? Up to here, from here to here is a nominal sentence, right? But then this nominal sentence will become what? This is
Verbal.
verb. So this will become maf'ul bihi for qalu. You see that what happened here?
Yeah.
Because qalu is the fail and the file. If I take haza allazi ruzukna min qabl as my maf'ul bihi, because what they said, that when they said this is what we were given before, that's become my maf'ul bihi. And if that is maf'ul bihi, then this whole verb, file and maf'ul bihi become a verbal sentence, which become the jawab shart. Do you guys see the big picture here? I know the room was little here, but let me show you. Let's look at it one more time before I show you. So this whole big sentence is now is a jawab shart. Yes, because in the previous sentence, lama was harf shart. The shart started from here. What was the shart? When they were provided with food as a provision, what are they going to say? They said, qalu
هذا الذي رزقنا.
in qablu. So here qalu is verb and file. But haza allazi ruzikna min qabl is become a big sentence which has three different parts. So haza mubtada, allazi till the end is the khabar, and then ruzikna and allazi ruzikna min qabl is sila masul. Yes, and this whole thing becomes a verbal sentence which becomes the maf'ul bihi. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes.
In this ayah, up till this point, we are talking about future. So that the conditional sentence make it like that, written in a past way, but we take it as a future. Because this is about in Jannah when we were provided.
Yes. In Jannah also, and also you have to keep in mind that when you are dealing with majhul, it kind of changes the meaning in the future. Okay, kiya jayega, diya jayega, ya diya jata hai. Inshallah, when we come to the Urdu part, you will see more clarity, inshallah. Okay, so with this, if I show you here, you can see kullama is the shart part. And you know, in their style, they don't give you the whole thing. They don't spread it out. When they make an arrow like this, that means this is the jawab shart. Because this was the shart, harf shart, and this is this is the shart part, and the jawab shart is the next one. So kullama ruziku. Ruziku is verb plus naib file. Minha jar majroor. Min samaratin jar majroor. Rizqa noun. It's in what status? Nasab. So nasab is what? Maful bihi, right? Or maful mutlaq in this case. Any questions on this? Mr. Fazila, you good?
Yeah, I'm good on this one. Just the next verse, maybe. Min rizq. Min qablu. The qabl, I'm just confused. Why is it not in the state of jar?
Yes, you're right. However, there is a specific rule, and I wanted to talk about that, but that will confuse everybody else. Let's put it this way. In certain situations, the qablu is a special kind of mudaf.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the mudafun ilayh is mahzuf here. They did not put the mudafun ilayh here, right? For example, if there was min qablil fajri, for example, I'm just giving you an example. If there was a salatul fajr, we would say min qablil fajr.
Yeah.
Right? But here, let's say whatever the mudaf ilayh would have been is omitted. When they omit the mudaf ilayh, then they change the haraka into with the dhamma. This is the status of jar by dhamma. This is a special grammatical rule. When I found out, I thought I would talk about it, but then I left it alone. But mashallah, you wanted to know, so I'm giving you just a very high level information on that.
I know, I remember it. It's just, that's a special one. So yeah,
That's a
thank
special one. Okay. So we can see here kullama, then qalu is a verb and file, which we know that. Haza is demonstrative pronoun, which is the mubtada. Allazi, the whole allazi, which is ism mawsul and sila, becomes the khabar for haza. And this is the sila mawsul part. Allazi is sila as a ism mawsul, and ruzikna min qablu is a verbal sentence, which is the sila for this. And then this whole thing become nominal sentence as a maful bihi to qalu, and then become jawab shart to kullama. You see the better picture now?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So with this, the next verse is wa utu bihi mutashabiha. So utu again is a majhul.
Majhul.
Right? But this majhul is mudare, not mazi. Okay? And they will be given bihi, which is jar majroor, mutashabihan. Mutashabiha means things in similarity, like mutashabih, look-alike. Right? So the fruits of Jannah, when we look at them, we will be able to recognize them because we were given something similar in the dunya. But their taste, their flavor, or their properties will be different. Yeah?
Yes.
So here you can see that wa utubu mutashabiha is, if you look at this detail here, we have verb, naib file, jar majroor, mutashabiha is a hal. You remember the hal? Like we explained how it is going to be. So sometimes we say somebody came laughing or somebody came crying. So mutashabiha is hal for this utubu or utu. Wa utu.
Atu.
Right? Walahum fiha. Walahum is jar majroor. This is wow atifa. Fiha mean therein. Jar majroor. Muta'alliq. And what lahum is, lahum can be mubtada,
Yes.
Yes.
right? Mudaf, mudaf ilayh. And we know that mudaf, mudafun ilayh can act as mubtada. Azwaj
Mubtada, yeah.
tahara, purified
Sifa.
spouses.
Yeah.
Murak-
Murakkab tawsifi.
Mawsuf sifa
Mawsuf and sifa.
and khabar. Because what is the
Yes.
khabar? What is for them? Purified spouses.
Yeah.
Muta'alliq is therein. Therein where? In Jannah. Okay. Now question, it says purified spouses. If we see the translation in Urdu, it's going to say purified wives. Divya, right? So why wives? Why not the male spouse? Who can answer that question?
Because this is muannas.
Mutaharatun is muannas.
Say that again.
Mutaharatun.
Okay, that is one indication. But also, look at this. Who are we talking about? We're talking about lahum,
For them, yes.
For
It's
them.
whom is male. Yeah.
male. If we say walahunna, because mutahhara means purified. Azwajum can be, mutahharatun, that's right. But again, the main thing is also look at this lahum.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Okay. I just wanted to talk about that. Then, wahum fiha khalidun. Again, wow is atifa. Hum is our pronoun. It's a zamir, right? Can a zamir be mubtada?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Mubtada. Fiha jar majrur muta'alliq. Khaliduna, and
This is the
they
khabar.
will abide forever. Khaliduna is khabar. Okay, so it's a nominal sentence. Nominal sentence. Okay, so if you go back to our the other screen, so here we have the same thing, and number 25, the next part, walahum is the atifa, jar majroor muta'alliq, fiha jar majroor muta'alliq, azwajum mutahhara is the sifa mawsuf, and this whole thing is becoming the hal, which is the khabar for lahum. Right? What are they going to get? They're going to get purified spouses. Walahum, wahum fiya khalidun. Again, hum is pronoun, which is mubtada. Khaliduna is the khabar. Fiha is jar majroor, which is muta'alliq. Making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, based on that information, let's look at the Urdu part so that we can get some more information. So, kullama ruziku minha min samaratir rizqa. इन्हें जब भी इन बागात से किसी फल का रिज्क दिया जाएगा, राइट? ओके, इस मजहूल वो कहेंगे qalu hada, qalu मीनिंग वो कहेंगे ये वही है जो हम इससे पहले भी रिज्क दिया गया, क्या रिज्क दिया गया था और वो इससे बाहम मिलता जुलता दिए जाएंगे. ओके, सो कुल्लमा इसमें ज़र्फ है. When we say kullu, that is isme zarf. We have learned about that in a special mudaf session. We said kullu is a special kind of mudaf, and it say isme zarf. And mani shart, it can be used as shart. Did we see that shart? Okay, and it comes before fe'l mazi. फेल माजी से पहले आता है और मुदारा के मानी में कर देता है. ब्रदर कबीर,
Yes.
you see that now?
Yeah.
So जब भी
So brother Abid, why can't it be for Muzare as well? Like if I say whenever they will be given, are they in like?
okay, I think the translation was, if you look at the
So in this particular case, it is fi'l madi, but I'm saying in generally, this kullama could be for future as well. Kullama.
Yes, that is right. But here the rule says that most likely or most of the time, right after kullama, you will encounter a fi'l madi. Okay, so this is something the books of grammar telling me. So I don't want to override that, but there could be a situation where it could be fi'l mudari after that. But it mostly comes right after that fi'l madi. पहले आता है, ठीक है? रुज़िकु फिल माजी मजहूल and इससे गायब मुज़क्कर जमा मुज़क्कर, right? We got that. Razaka was the actual madi's pattern, and yarzuku was the mudare, and masdar was rizqan. Rizqan means rizq dena, khilana. In general sense, something given to you. Minha is jar majroor. Min is harf jar. Ha is majroor, which is zamir, and it is the attached zamir for female. So we have been talking about Jannah, so that is why minha, fiha, bihi, those kind of all those jar majroor were pointing back to Jannah, which is feminine. So iska zamir marje kya hai? Jannat. So inse. So min samaratin, min harf jara, samara is hal. Rizqa masdar, rizq dena, rizq. Qalu fi'l mazi jama मुज़क्कर गायब, क़ाला यक़ूलु मस्दर कौलन. कुल्लमा की वजह से तर्जमा मुदारे में होगा, वो कहेंगे, ठीक है? हाजा इसमें इशारा वाहिद मुज़क्कर करीब. हाजा इज द इशारा फॉर near. And where did I go? Okay,
Allazi.
Allazi. Allazi इसमें मौसूल वाहिद मुज़क्कर वही जो, ठीक है? When we have ism mawsool, then we have to look for sila. So ruzikna fi'l mazi majhul jama mutakallim. We provided. Yes. Na nahnu. Razaka yarzuku. The same pattern for fi'l madi. And masdar is rizqan. Rizq dena khilana. Humko rizq diya gaya. Humko rizq diya gaya. Min qablu min harf jar. Qablu majroor se pehle. कबल इससे पहले. कबल का मतलब होता है पहले.
Before.
वाव इज हर्फ अतफ व उतू फिल माजी मजहूल जमा गायब अता याती मसदर ईतायुन बसिला बलाना देना, राइट? बसिला बा लाना देना, वो दिए जाएंगे. बिही लेटर बा इज हर्फ जार एंड बमानी मिन से. And again, bihi jar majroor. Min is again jar majroor. I don't know why they're not very clear about it, but it is this is zamir wahid for muzakkar or muannas. This is muzakkar, right? Because ha is the muannas. Mutashabihan tashabahun masdar ism fa'il mumaslat baham milta julta, similar looking. Urdu English में हम क्या कहेंगे? Similar looking.
Like. Yeah.
Alike, yes. वलहुम फीहा अज़वाजुम मुतहहरा वहुम फीहा खालिदून. और उनके लिए उन बागात में पाकीज़ा बीवियां होंगी और वो उनमें हमेशा रहने वाले हैं. वलहुम फीहा इज हर्फ अतफ, लाम हर्फ जारा और हुम इज ज़मीर जमा मुज़क्कर गायब. इसका मतलब है उन. फी इज हर्फ जारा, इसका मतलब है में. हा इज मजरूर विच इज ज़मीर वाहिद मुअन्नस गायब. इस ज़मीर का मर्जा है जन्नातिन, वो इसमें और इनके लिए इन बागात में. अज़वाजुम मुतहहरा, अज़वाजुम इज मौसूल, वाहिद इज ज़ौजुन. So then there is a rule here, and that will explain why we have mutahhara in female here. Okay, when we have a ghair aqil, what is ghair aqil?
Without life.
Yes, actually we should say that aqil
Without
is
intelligence.
And human.
insan, jinn and
jinn.
farishte.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter life or life, we don't want to get into that specific, but when we say aqil in Arabic, we think about three creations: insan, jinn and farishte. Those are aqil. Anything other than that is ghair aqil. So even the animals which are alive, but they are considered غير عاقل. So the rule is the singular was zawj. Zawj mean a जोड़ा. एक मर्द के लिए औरत, औरत के लिए मर्द. ठीक है? उनकी जो plural है वो क्या है? अज़वाजुन.
Azwaj.
Now azwaj is jama mukassar, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So when we have azwajun a ghair aqil ki jama, then the next noun is muannas singular. You remember that rule long time ago? That is why is the feminine mutahharatun. Okay, because when you have a ghair aqil ki jama, then the sifa will be feminine singular. Remember that rule. I know we did it a long time ago.
Not very long, maybe just 3 weeks, I think, or maybe.
Oh, well, I just
Mutahharatun then doesn't indicate that azwaj is going to be feminine. It could be masculine too, right?
that could be masculine too. That is why I was pointing out that the lahum is what is giving away, that is the wives and not the male spouse. Right?
Okay.
Because azwajun is
So Brother Abid, if the intention was to call both female and males, is it still preferred to call as a male? Like, what's the kind of a practice in Arabic?
for azwaj.
No, I'm saying when walahum is definitely hum is indicating to male, but here we are saying as
Walahunna. If you want to say the male spouses, then there should be walahunna.
If we are talking about both, then what we would say?
Walahum.
Okay, if we are talking about both, then the male, the noun is more has the more priority. Remember that part we talked about?
Exactly. That's what maybe lahum is not a true indicator that it's masculine anyway at the end as vajan mutaratun, because that's the way it is. It's preferred the same way as we pronounce Allah, consider it a male or masculine, right?
I mean, we can assume that, but in the whole verse, Allah is telling Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to tell them, and mainly he meant his companions, right? So talking to the male audience. But however, in that, whatever you said, we can always consider that as an, one of the options, inshallah. Okay. Okay. So if you don't mind, let's, complete the session, because I want to finish at 10:15 so that we have enough time for Isha. Okay. So any questions on this? Azwaju mutahhara, I explained to you why there is mutahhara, because when you have a ghair aqil ki jama, then the quality will be feminine. Okay. So we know that we are pretty good with the jar majroor. So fiya is jar majroor. Khaliduna is from Khalid. Khalid is जिसमें कोई तगय्युर व तब्दील ना हो, meaning it's gonna forever stay the same. So khuludun is the masdar. Khuludun is the masdar. इसमें khaliduna, because it's the third sigha of ghaib, meaning home. They will always, they हमेशा रहने वाले. कौन? वो लोग. उनमें रहने वाले कहाँ रहने वाले? जन्नत के अंदर.
Jannat.
So inshallah, I hope that
I'm confused, Khalid. You're saying Khalid means something that doesn't change, and then Khalid also means forever. So which one of the two is correct for Khalid?
Okay, Khalidun, yani the meaning of Hamesha, the Khalid Hamesha, Khaliduna, we always do the translation Hamesha for that. Why? Because their halat does not change. Okay.
Stay the same.
So when something doesn't change, that means it's constantly the same, right? And again, right now, this is not the dictionary. If you look at the dictionary, in front of the dictionary, Khalid will have like 4 or 5 meanings. And Hamesha will be one of them.
I think, Abid, what the scholars have explained to me, and now it makes sense that Khalid probably means the thing that doesn't change, because only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is going to be forever. So we may not change for a long time. I don't know how many centuries, how many thousands of years, but ultimately maybe we'll be all dead one day. And only Allah is the one who's going to live forever. That's what the
Makes
scholar was
sense.
saying. To say Khalid.
So that makes sense. But
Yeah.
from the perspective, this is a noun, right? So noun means one of the translation of Khalid, I have always heard that is the forever. Why? Now we see this another additional,
Yeah, I think it makes
what
more
your
sense.
tafsir is saying is also correct. And
This
that's
Khalidun means after the death you get the life which will be forever.
Yeah.
that's another.
Yeah.
That's right,
Yeah,
brother.
but I only dispute that.
Okay, so inshallah, we're not gonna hang up on that, but we will keep that topic open because I'm trying to wrap up with the due time. Now, I want to answer one question which Brother Javed asked earlier. Let's see if we can find that. Brother Javed, your question was, if you refresh my memory.
I think I'm about Amwata. It was something, there was another word.
وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي. You were saying that why Jannatin is.
Yeah, because of Anna. Anna should have driven it to Jannatan.
Yes, so no, see, you're right. Now you reminded me what. So Anna, the quality of Anna is that it brings after the Mubtada, the Khabar into Nasab. Right?
Yes.
Actually, yeah. So here
And
Anna
the
Jannat is Mubtada, right? So Jannat
Yes.
is actually Nasab because.
Nasab and Jar is same.
Yeah, Nasab and Jar is same, right?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, Brother Javed, let me show you on the. Okay. So what happens is when you have Mubtada and Khabar, right? So we say Allahu Ghafurun. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mubtada is Allah, right? Is it Marifa?
Yes.
Yes.
And this is Nakira, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And this is Rafa, and this is Rafa.
Rafa.
Okay. So what happens as soon as you have Anna?
Wahid. Muzakkar.
So when you have Anna,
Inna.
Anna. Anna is harf mushabba bil fail.
Bil fail.
Yes. And I mean inna wa akhawatuha. Remember that lecture? So
Yeah.
when Anna says, I am no longer going to keep Mubtada as Mubtada. I am going to first of all take it to Nasab. And I'm going to call it Ismu Inna.
Right.
And Khabaru Anna. Right?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So if you look at Jannat, Jannat is feminine. If you remember my lecture from last Thursday.
Plural of Jannah.
Yeah. So Jannatun.
Jannatin.
In Jannatin. So it is the Rafa, Nasab, and Jar. So basically what you see is Jannatin.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
इसका रफा भी वही है कसर के साथ आता है. Okay, got it.
इसके no रफा इसका उसका है जन्नातुन है.
Tun hai.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. So if I had said something like Jannatun Wasiun, something like that. So this would have been Mubtada, and this would have been Khabar. Yes. As soon as I put Anna, then I would have to say Jannat.
Jannatin.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, I'm glad that we clarified that. And for the other questions, even though I have answered 50% of them, but I would really appreciate if you guys can answer Brother Javed with some examples. Okay, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. And we'll see you on Thursday, 9:30, inshallah. Subhanaka wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Allah Hafiz.